We leave this in. This is just perfect. Yes,
no.
you will leave this in. This is great. Okay.
Hi, I'm Maria Kammerer, and I'm the founder of Attune the Art of Reiki. I also have a podcast, Be the Light podcast with Maria Kammerer.
That's great.
All about me. No, it's not. It's not all about me. But this is Frans Stiene from International House of Reiki, and today we're going to talk about his book, The Way of Reiki.
We've been at a 4-day Reiki retreat here in close to Seattle, Washington State. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can see the mountains behind us and in front of us. And so we're a bit kind of drunk on the energy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's been wonderful. 4 days of practice with Frans and a lovely group of people. And he's sharing actually retreats right now from his writing, The Way of Reiki. So it's really beautiful. And this book is based off the inner teachings of Mikao Usui, right?
Yeah, for me, I think the book itself has been really a reflection of my own personal journey and my own personal teachings and my own personal rediscovery. So, of course, now when I teach these retreats, they very much reflect what I've written in the book. So, yeah, if you want to actually engage with the practices and the teachings from the book in a more direct way, come and do one of the retreats or one of the classes. It's because, of course, we cannot always just learn from a book, right? We need to engage with it. I was actually just thinking, Maria, sorry, I'm taking over here.
No, please, yeah.
I'm just thinking, nowadays so many people teach online, but we talked about it in this retreat, how wonderful it is to have, people together in a group where we can laugh, we can enjoy, but also we can practice together and sharing that practice in one big room where we can hear each other's voices, feel that energy. And it doesn't mean, we cannot do that through distance, but I can give you a hug like this, but in person the hug, I tell you, is much better, right?
Yeah, absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been so much fun, and it's great to get together and be in a community that you practice together and you can directly experience your own true nature or your own energy, and that helps to have a container, a safe place just to be yourself.
Yeah, and this is for me really also why I wrote the book. First of all, again, it was from my own personal direct experience, but I feel it can help people to have that direct experience themselves through the teachings in the book on how to formulate it, how to practice, how to initiate these teachings. But of course, ultimately, we need to, find a good teacher, no matter if it's you in Cincinnati or other people around the world. And I think this is also so great, Maria, where you and I, and lots of other people are creating these wonderful communities. You come from Cincinnati all the way to Seattle, and you meet all these wonderful people, and in the beginning of this year you came to Chicago. So it's really great to create these international Reiki communities who try to really practice from that space of remembering their true nature, because the system of Reiki is not just hands-on healing, it's so much more than that.
Yeah, I think it's inspiring actually that we have, I kind of think of it as a international Reiki community, a family that we have, because we actually, when I go visit you in different locations, it's so beautiful because we're all practicing the same things all around the world, and there's so much harmony. It's like immediately you feel you're part, that you're friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And that we're all practicing Joshin Kokiho, or we're really trying to practice the precepts in our daily lives, and that makes it so easy to practice together,
Yeah, I could see this now also, like in these 4 days, we are all strangers coming together, and yet we leave as a family, right? Everybody is just saying, I wish I could stay longer. It's so beautiful. Again, this is why I think the in-person teachings is so important these days. We've become so disconnected from each other as well. and to actually, again, do real physical hands-on healing or chant mantras together and be in that space of like-minded people. And I think it's so powerful and so much needed that we feel there is a support, a network, a family who we can fall back upon of practitioners. And I don't see myself as a teacher, more as a practitioner. We all practice together. We all hold hands together walking that mountain up there. And so, I think it's really important, Maria, to have more and more of these, like a Reiki day or coming together at a retreat or a Shimpoden or Reiki 1, 2, or 3, or whatever we do, and share these teachings, because it's so needed that we go more and more inwards so that we can be this great bright light to help other people.
Yeah, because I think what we're doing really is we're strengthening our own compassion. We're strengthening our foundation of peace, and that is so needed in my life and in the world. And I think the more that we can practice the precepts and these beautiful practices, the more we can imbue everything that we do in our lives and in our communities or our families with that compassion, with that peace, that gratitude. And that's so valuable and so needed in the world.
Yeah, this is one thing I write about definitely in the Way of Reiki, the inner teachings of Mikao Usui, available right now. But is that often, we say, I'm really kind or compassionate, but that compassion changes all the time. Like one moment we're really kind to someone, and the next moment we think they're an asshole. So it changes. But actually, Mikao Usui is talking about a compassion and kindness, what doesn't change according to circumstances. So we can really clearly see that in his teachings and the methods he has actually taught to us.
I think that's such an important lesson, though, because especially with what's going on in the world, we're so separate, and we get separated by all of our labels as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a woman, I'm a person who's brown skinned, or and that I separate myself, and we need ways that we feel that we all belong together, that we're here and as one real family, that our compassion is equal to, no matter what you look like or how old you are, that we can be friends, or that we can reach out and help each other.
I think you said it really beautifully, and it is, we look at the surface, and I'm a man, you're a woman, but our true essence doesn't have that label, man and woman, right? A tree doesn't say, I'm an oak tree, right? Or I'm tall, or I'm short. A tree is just a tree.
Yeah.
And I think this is so important these days, that we learn that we're all human beings and animals, whatever it's just labels, and that the essence is exactly the same thing. Yeah. So that we just have to be compassionate and kind to people, and not be coming from that place of anger and worry and fear. And I think specifically these days we can see this a lot too in a lot of younger generation now, where non-binary, for example, for me, that is really that we're tapping into this space where it's neither male nor female. We just,
it's beautiful,
right, as it is. And I think this is so important.
Yeah, and that's really is, if we can accept ourselves as it is, then we can just be free to have that compassion flow, to have our life flow through us more in this more flexible but also strong way.
Yeah, this is again, we have this wonderful symbology behind us, like a mountain, stable like a mountain, that we're not swayed by anything. And for me, this is really what I go deeply into. That's it, into the book. Because for me, it's not, again, the system of Reiki traditionally is not about hands-on healing. It's about a state of mind of no anger, no worry, being grateful, being true to your way and your being, and being compassionate. In the precepts, for example, we don't see anything about hands-on healing, but yet a state of mind. And I think this is often forgotten in a lot of modern teaching. So what is okay, don't get me wrong, but to really have that peace on earth and that unconditional kindness and compassion, we really need to first to go within and to find that love within ourselves, and that stability. therefore, then we can really, if I still have a lot of anger and worry and frustration in me, it's very difficult to help other people from that place. So that for me is really, what I talk about in the book and give directions and teachings.
And I think that why I keep going to these classes, or why, I want to invite people to come to these classes or read the books and start to practice yourself, is because we need reminders of these things, of finding your own peace, feeling it, tasting it again and again, so that we can become more in tune with that. So that can be the major sound in our life is peace, or a major sound in our life is compassion, and all the other chaotic sounds that are around us can be not so loud.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think, we often forget, we might go to a retreat or a class, and then for a week we're great, 2 weeks we're great, and then we forget, and we have to remember it again and again and again. And I think this is so important. I mean, how long have you been coming already to these things? How long have I been turning up? I'm a slow learner.
Yeah.
But this is it, because it's so important. And therefore, for me, again, the system of Reiki, as I see how, the inner teachings of Mikao Usui was really a way of life of kindness and compassion. And through that, he was really saying this is a way of life to change the world.
Right.
Not just hands-on healing, because hands-on healing is a little bit limited.
Right.
We cannot walk around town doing this, but we can really affect our surroundings by leading a compassionate and kind life.
It's beautiful. We'll just keep going. We just keep practicing.
We stay at the retreat place.
Yeah.
Actually, this is one of the most amazing retreat places. We're Harmony Hill. It's. I look outside and I literally see kind of a drawing. This is a drawing, or it's actually whatever stitched on it, but it's right there, and it's just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. But again, we can come to a retreat, but the ultimate retreat is not this, right? The ultimate retreat is here, that we can find that peace, not just in a retreat center, not just outside, but right in the heart of our shitty lives sometimes, right? Where there's chaos, where maybe relationship problems or work problems or country problems or all of these things, that we can find that stability. And that, for me, I really wanted to explain in this book, and particularly from Mikao Usui's approach. And if we look at his teachings, we can see it very, very, very clearly what he was trying to point out.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the book. Thank you so much. I know that you wrote it like a lightning bolt in a way.
I did, actually.
You disappeared for 2 weeks.
But this is, for me, is, when during COVID, for me, I was really integrating a lot of the teachings, what I was learning from my teacher in Japan, Takeda. And for me, it was really an accumulation, and it just poured out. And I think it's the same, when I have a cup here and I keep filling it, then it pours out. So the more we really fill ourselves with love and compassion pours out. The more we fill it with teachings pour out.
And so inspiring, Frans. Thank you.
Cheers.
Just practice. Keep practicing.
It's not coffee, it's just vodka.
It's been wonderful. And if you, I know that, you're coming to Cincinnati for...
Yes, so next year I'm teaching in Cincinnati,
in
Chicago,
April.
New York, Italy a few times, Holland, France, hopefully Portugal, Germany.
Wow. So many opportunities.
To practice
together, which is
Japan.
Beautiful.
So
Japan.
Yay.
Super fun.
Yeah.
And if you're wherever you are, you look around, you might find a local Reiki community as well. We have a Cincinnati Reiki community and that I love dearly, and it grows as well. So if you're in Cincinnati or around that area, come visit us. We practice together. And, there's opportunities to support yourself. You don't just have to practice by yourself. You can reach out to your friends, your Reiki friends, and get together, make some tea and invite them over to practice. It doesn't have to, you don't have to travel far, but it is nice to have friends who you can talk to about these things, because healing is not always easy, but when we can practice together, we can see everybody in their own, how they do it and how they're experiencing it. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, I think this again, this is why community is so important. Are you crying?
No, I'm not. I'm not, surprisingly.
No, but this is why community is so important. Like also, like at this retreat, I don't really see it. We just come here for teachings. But last night we played this funny game, with throwing some eye pillows in a basket. Beanbags in a basket.
Not very expensive lavender pillows, but
that's it, beanbags. And then, we went swimming in the cold river or fjord here. Yeah. So it's that community, and this, again, we cannot get online. If we get an online teachings, we cannot get all of that. And this is why it's so important. I know it's very fashionable, don't get me wrong, to do a lot of these teachings online. But to create a solid, good community, you have to come together. It's like great to see your family who you haven't seen for a long time in Australia or England or whatever online like this. But you all know when you get together again in one house that it is a fucking party, right?
Yeah.
And this is so important for Reiki communities to start to realize, come together, share. It's not just, for me, but for all people together and hold hands together. Again, one stream of Reiki is not better than the other. We also have to start to see this. It's the same as man and woman or, skin color or whatever. Just hold hands, be friends, be friendly with each other. We don't have to be best dates. We don't have to marry each other. That's fine. But hold hands and be kind to each other. That is really Mikosui's teachings. And for me, it's so important.
It's so important. It's so special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for talking with me today.
Thank you.
Always fun. We're having so much fun.
All right. We see you somewhere around the globe.
Yes. And don't forget, get The Way of Reiki. It's a beautiful book. I've been reading it and every day. And I feel like there's something there that inspires me.
There's a coffee mark in here. What do you put your cup in there?
Oatmeal.
Okay. Bye.